Guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another one of those how much I paid for my 2024 CT4 V Blackwing, but with a little bit of a twist on it. So I'm going to start this video off by telling you guys that I got a huge discount on this Blackwing, and I brought it brand new. It had about 600 miles on it, and it's still new. It's been at the dealership for a while. And I'm going to tell you guys how I saved a whole lot of money, almost $20,000 off of my Blackwing, and that's unheard of. I haven't heard anybody save this kind of money on a Blackwing. And honestly, there are no GM employee discounts on the Blackwings. I tried to get a 2025 one. So when I was shopping for one of these, I was just going to get a flat out base model. All I wanted was the green paint, maybe a tan interior, but I was able to do without that. Just the green paint, that's all I wanted. Sunroof would have been nice, and the tan interior would have been nice. So stock price for that would have been about $66,000. If I add the seats and the sunroof, that was about $71,000. But my car right here, as listed, or MSRP, was going to be, or it was, $89,160. And this car has every feature that the CT4 V Blackwing offers, minus different color wheels, because this is a silver car and these wheels matches the paint job. So that's it. This is wrapped right now. It's just a silver color, the Arrival Edition. And I'll show you guys some of the things. Well, let me just talk about some of the things that this does have. So I got the carbon fiber 2 package. That's going to have the carbon fiber wing, got a carbon fiber diffuser, got the carbon fiber splitters up front. I got the carbon fiber bucket seats. So that on its own is about $10,000, if not more, for that package. I do have a sunroof on this one. I also got the upgraded seats. They're heated, cooled, and massaging. It doesn't have adaptive cruise control on here, which is the bummer. And the 2025s with the automatics do come with Super Cruise, which is what I really wanted. But I got the 2024. They ain't do that. And this Arrival Edition has like a limited red interior. This is the Mondrian version of that. They had 3 for model year 2023, 3 versions of the Arrival Edition. They had 3 track editions for 2023, and then for 2025, I know they at least had 1. And those cars are like $90,000. When you get the automatic, they can go over $90,000, or the wheels. Pretty pricey for these CT4 V Blackwings, but I didn't pay that. And as I said earlier, I got almost $20,000 off. So how did I do that if they don't offer discounts on the Blackwing? Well, first of all, that's a lie, because they do offer discounts on the Blackwing. I got one. It's on my bill of sale, which I might show you guys right here. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I just was looking for one and couldn't find it. But it's the truth. I got no reason to lie. I want to make sure y'all get the best value out there. That's why I make these types of videos. So how was I able to save that kind of money on the CT4 V Blackwing? And I'm going to tell you, it wasn't easy, because I was going to buy a used one, but I got to think about buying used cars from time to time. I got burnt on my Scion FRS, which I still think about. That's why I don't like Subaru. I digress. So I was able to get the GM employee discount. So that's a discount that I provided by myself for the car. So that was one huge discount. And that discount alone knocked off maybe $11,000. $11,000 to $13,000. I forgot the numbers. I thought the paperwork was in the car, but it's not. So another thing, the dealership was motivated, highly motivated, to sell this car. So they also, on top of the GM employee discount, which was about $13,000, they also gave me over $6,000 off on top of that. Cadillac on their website says they do not offer GM employee discounts on these Blackwings. That's if you buy the current model. So what I did, as I mentioned, the 25s and the 24s, mine is the 2024, technically a new car, and there are still some of these out here. And the dealership was highly motivated to get the car off their lot, because they built these in 2023, so the car is like damn near 2 years old by the time I took ownership of it. But I think what scares a lot of people off is the high price, which it is, $90,000 for this car. Woo, Lord, that's expensive. Have mercy. I think the sweet spot for buying these things new is, I'll say about $72,000, $73,000 for a decently optioned version. So that's what I was willing to pay for a new one. $66,000 for a base model. I did run across a couple base models, But for me, I had to have that GM employee discount. The reason being, that's how I'm able, one of the reasons I'm able to trade in and out of my cars. Employee discount, be it the Ford, the GM, the Chrysler discounts, that'll always, most of the time, take me to the first year's point of depreciation. And that's one of my secrets. Well, it's not a secret, I made a video about it. Not a lot of people watched it though, but that's how I'm able to get in and out. My first year depreciation is already paid for when I buy the car, so that's easy for me. Like if I just want to trade out of this now, I'm already at my trade-in value right now, so I'm good, and I'm just making payments on top of that, so I'm okay to trade in whenever I please to in that first year. And here's a tip for you all before a train comes down, because it's playing right behind the camera. So they're about to start building the 2026s, which they already started taking offers for. That was something I also wanted to do, but at the time I bought this, they closed the books for the 2025s, and the books for the 2026s weren't open yet. So now if I were you all and you wanted a new CT4 V Blackwing, I would still look around for a deal on the older model, because they didn't change much of anything on these cars. Maybe the paint and these special editions colors, that's all you're gonna get. They really didn't add anything new, and it's hard to find anything about the adaptive cruise, because that was going to be my deciding factor, whether I get a 25 or a 24, but I couldn't find anything on it reading all the literature, so I just went with the 2024. Gotta live without it. And as soon as I mentioned it, the train started going. As I was saying, my advice to you all, if you're looking for one of these new, I would look for a 2025 at a dealership and see if they have that GM employee discount on their website. Now I did come across the 2025s before they brought on the 20, or before they closed the order books, and I was like, what's up on that GM employee discount? They were like, nope, no discounts on the Blackwings. I'm like, ah. But if you look hard enough, you'll find some discounts. I even saw discounts on the CT4 V Blackwing on the video, one of the videos of this car I had. I showed you guys that there was two manuals. One was $250,000 for the CT4 V Blackwing, and the other one was $111,000. They were able to offer a $10,000 discount on that one. And they still take the GM employee discount, because once you give them the GMS code, that had to be the way that I took this deal. They took the GM employee discount code. It's not like they just said, oh, GM employee discount for everybody on this car. Nah, I had to give them the actual GM employee discount code. So they applied that to this car for me. And they will only do it on the previous model years, at least at the dealership I went to. Shout out to Shaheen Cadillac in Lansing, Michigan. But I know other dealerships would be willing to do something similar or the same, because there's quite a few of these left. They only made 66 of these, but enough of them still out there floating around, and I think it's because the ticket is too high. But that discount, especially at I think it was more like 19 grand to be the exact dollar amount, maybe 18, but that is the best way to get into this car. Got a whole lot of background noise today. So what I ended up going from, before taxes, I went from $89,000 to $71,000 for this car, which is a huge killer deal. That just took so much down away from me. And then trading in the car, which I'm not going to tell you guys, because you should know if you follow the channel what car I traded in, or maybe I didn't trade in the car. But I was able to, in Michigan, we only get $660 as a maximum for trade-in value. Other states, trading in the car is like a plus for you, but Michigan, they don't really do too much of anything. But just shopping around, looking for the older model years. They gotta sell these things. Like I said, 2023 this car was built, and it just sat there at the dealership, which they built these in Lansing. So it just sat not too far from home where it was originated, where they made the baby making that at the factory. So if I were you all, go on the Cadillac's website, I would still search for 24s if they're out there. Somebody has to be motivated to sell them, because they're just sitting on paying taxes every year or every day on these, that one just sits on the parking lot. That's called lot rot. It's just sitting there for nothing. And this is the car they had in the showroom because it's a special edition. Why not have it in there? So sort by the model year 24, or see if you can get one built the way that you want it. I tried to get one built, but that wasn't really working out. Some of the dealerships weren't helping me to get one built. Plus I couldn't get that discount. So I've seen a couple dealerships that were willing to do a discount. I wish I would have got that red one that I put on Instagram and TikTok. There was a red one that I was looking to buy. Same thing, it was $90,000, but I like the red more than the silver. That's why my car is orange now. I'm I don't like silver. I hate silver. Let me just be honest. I hate silver cars. And I've owned a lot of silver cars. Hated all of the colors. That is going to be your ticket unless you want to buy one of these used. But I don't see why you would buy a used CT4 V Blackwing for about, the lowest I'm seeing is maybe 50,000. Well, those prices are going. The lowest I saw when I was looking for my car was 55,000 with about 20, 30,000 miles on it, which ain't bad at all. But I'd rather be the first owner of the car. And if I'm paying, it's like $71,000 before taxes, I'd rather be that first guy and take that with getting a discount on it and having a special edition and that $20,000 off. I still can't believe that. That's probably one of the biggest discounts I've seen on a car in my day, especially for myself personally. And that normally goes for cars that people don't want. This technically was a car that people didn't want because nobody obviously bought it. But it's a highly desirable car. So I'm seeing on the ads on Facebook, I'm seeing Road and Track, they're saying that these cars had markups, and my car got marked down. And like I said, that applies for the CT5 V Blackwing as well, because they were willing to give me $10,000, and that was the initial offer. I'm pretty sure I could have knocked them down a little bit further, and that was for a 2024 as well. And huge shout out to Brandon Lewis. He kind of coached me on what he got on his discount on his CT5 V Blackwing. So he's the one that let me know that you're able to get discounts. Had he not have told me that, I would not have this car right here because I didn't think it was possible. Because once I saw that fine print on their website, no GM employee discounts, that would have been a wrap for me. But I kept on trying, found the car that was right for me. And the dealership, that's not even the sweetest part of my deal. So the car that I may or may not have traded in, they gave me top dollar for that. Because I was going to sell it to Carvana if I sold that car or traded it in, but I'm not going to say that. So they gave me even more than what they offered. On the first offer, I'm like, this deal is too good to be true. And normally when the deal is too good to be true, it normally is. But this was a true deal, as you see me with the car right here. So sometimes things just align for you. I just honestly think the car was for me just because of how it kind of fell in my lap for this car to be in the manual transmission, every option that I wanted. So I really wanted those seats, the massaging seats, the heated and ventilated seats, and it just fell in my lap. The only thing that I didn't like was the color of the car. And I would have liked some bronze wheels, but it didn't match the silver paint. That's another reason why I don't like the silver, or maybe the black wheels, but these wheels are fine for what they are. I'm gonna change them out anyways to get something a little bit more girthy. And so that's how I saved close to $20,000 on my CT4 V Blackwing. I know you can do it out there too. You just gotta do a little bit of searching, like expand the mile radius of how far away you're willing to look. May or may not have traded one of those in. So at first I was doing like a 500-mile radius, and then I just broadened it out. I want to see every freaking car in the United States, going from lowest to highest. And it's a bunch of these out there as of a couple months ago. So just do your homework, keep trying. The worst they can do is say no, but just throw something out there. Maybe a dealership would be willing to go. Thankfully, my dealership was, so shout out to them. So the moral of the story when it comes to buying cars is you gotta be patient. A sweet deal will come along if you have the patience. I'm glad I didn't just rush into anything and get a base model. So I couldn't imagine paying $70,000 for a car with just a couple options, like maybe the base seats and that sunroof, where I could have got every single feature on here. Like, my taste has changed in cars. When I first started the channel, I was buying base model cars, but now I want everything. It just comes with age, I guess, man. But that's all I got to say to you all in this video. I saved a wheelbarrow full of money on my 2024 CT4 V Blackwing. Hopefully you all were able to learn something from this video and apply it to your shopping experience when you look for one of these or any other car. This is going to apply for any car, not just this car. So if you got any questions on this deal that I had in particular, just drop me a comment and I'll get to you, because this deal's out here to be had. You just got to be patient or just wait for the right time. Stars got to align. I don't know what it is, but it happened for me and it can happen for you too. So you guys remember to drive safe out there, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.